Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing really well. Just going to wait a few minutes for the live to go up, the numbers to go up. Bear with me. I'm a little bit tired this morning. I'd hoped to get up a little bit earlier, and yeah, I hope you're all doing really well. Just wait for the numbers to go up a little bit. It's 11 o'clock on the 31st of January 2026. I'm not going to be looking at the comments. So bear with me. I'm just going to show you the evidence of what we're looking at here. And hopefully the numbers are going to go up. I know it's early, so we're probably not going to get many people. And I urge you all, please record the screens as to what I'm going to be showing you. All right, I'm going to do this at 6 o'clock as well tonight, exactly the same evidence, just so that it's giving more people the chance to see it. And what I need you to do is record the screens and then re-upload them. Okay, even if you have to use a secondary device to just hold it and record it. This is very important because they're removing my videos, everybody. And I'm going to try and keep this as quick as I can. So no longer than half an hour in each video that I'm doing, just so it makes it easier to record and then re-upload for everybody. Very quick summary. I was in the police for 18 years, and since 2022, with the help of others, I have acquired irrefutable, verifiable evidence of decades-long international government fraud, which will be allowing them the facility to launder money, trillions of pounds, stolen from the masses through tax and other financial institutions, in relation to, and launder money as well in relation to crime through it, and use the money to pay for crime as well, and for addictions and all sorts, okay, through the company's house fraudery, which they've had in place since probably 1844, but certainly since 1992, which is when they started to create the electronic register in all of this. So we're going to be talking about the Mayfair Gate. Sorry, I keep calling it the Wayfair Gate. And this is a quick video. I'm only going to show a little bit of the video, not all of it. Please record the screens, everybody, and re-upload all of what I'm going to be showing you, okay? And then we're going to be going into it.
Wayfair Gate? Well, you're about to. I feel a bit of personal responsibility for Wayfair Gate because it was on June 14th when I happened to have been shopping on that site for a storage cabinet. And I came across these ones here. They were so odd and out of place that I tweeted about it. And I said, my spidey senses are tingling. What's with these storage cabinets? Extremely high prices.
Names and were crazily overpriced. No, a cabinet like 4 times the size of that suspicious one is way less. $12,000? $2,000. And an interesting thing happens when you look up the SKU numbers of those cabinets. It's not just on Wayfair though. People are finding these suspicious items on Amazon and Etsy.
Come out and make a statement about it? Yes, they did. Here's what they said. The products in question are industrial-grade cabinets that are accurately priced. They're going to take down the photos, they say. They're going to redo them. They're going to change the names, and then they're going to relist them at some later date. That's what Wayfair said, that they were actually accurately priced because they're industrial cabinets. Oh, yeah, Wayfair, did you come out yet and explain this? The pillow covers? The $10,000 pillow covers, which have names that have...
Now, I'm not going to show the whole video because I haven't got time, because I need to get the evidence out there in relation to the company's house. But what this video is suggesting is that this company and others are using high value price furniture to launder money through in relation to the crimes against children. And they're actually, some of the furniture is named after names. There's a lot of information on here. I haven't got time to show it all, because what I need to do is show how it links into the larger issue in all of this, which is the company's house fraud tying into practically all of the world's problems. Okay, so as soon as this company's house fraud is resolved and we have a suitable, transparent financial system in place, then you're practically going to have heaven on earth, on earth, can't speak, because it's linked to international conflicts, terrorism, crimes against children, drug trafficking, all of the world's problems. It motivates all of the world's problems, everybody. Okay, so you can go and search that video and look at that in more detail. So if you put Wayfair scandal on YouTube or whatever, you'll be able to go and find that information. So let's go back to the document, which is where the important evidence is held in relation to this. A company's house search for, Mayfair. It is Wayfair. Sorry, I keep getting mixed up with, it's because Mayfair is also important in all of this and links into the Goldsmith family, which links to the Rothschilds. Company sales search for Wayfair reveals that, oh my goodness. What I'm gonna do is, that makes this so frustrating. See, I'm making quite a few little mistakes here, but the evidence is still overwhelming. A company house search for Wayfair reveals that Wayfair Limited was incorporated in July 2010. This is the same year that CERN Limited was created, and it has Derek J. Reed Limited on its incorporation document. So I'm going to show you this. Now, this is all going into my evidential research document once I've checked some of the spelling mistakes, but I am still making a lot. But that's just the way it is. And you'll be able to verify all of this evidence when you have that document. Please email me on GaryTheTruthSetsUsFree@gmail.com. This is free@gmail.com. Those of you saying use Proton, they're all compromised by this international government fraud. All right, all email companies. It doesn't matter which one you use. So here's Wayfair. You can see incorporated 2010, and this particular Wayfair company dissolved on the lead up to the COVID deception. So this was in January 2019, which is all relative, everybody, on the incorporation document. Just to show it to you. Can't remember what it'd be further down. Okay. You have Derek J. Reed Limited. Okay. That's on page 6. So if you go... a separate search reveals that Derek J. Reed Limited was appointed to AMC Services Yeovil Limited on the 14th of September 2007. This is less than a month after Exborn Manor Limited incorporated. That is the company where all of my investigations began, and this becomes very relevant. It's obviously very important in relation to this, and for whatever reason, I seem to be very important in all of this, and I seem to be right at the centre of all of this, trying to resolve it against all of the world's international leaders, against the United Nations, NATO, etc. It's just huge. So let's go into this. I'll just show you, hopefully this is the right link I've got here. We'll go through it as we're looking at it. Okay, there you can see Derek J. Reed Limited, the exact same company that's on the incorporation document. And here you can see it's linked to a company of AMC Services Yeovil Limited from 14th September 2007. It was August I think it was 23rd of 2007, when Exborn Manor Freehold Limited was incorporated. The company where this all started for me. I didn't become a director until 2009, which is within 2 weeks of the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales having been incorporated, which there's going to be no coincidence with this, everybody. That's the company that links most areas of the fraud. So here you can see we're in AMC Services. You can see it was incorporated the year after the World Trade Center disaster, 2002, and then it dissolved the same year, okay, as CERN Limited. Now, this is all very relevant for whatever reason. I'm trying to understand why CERN is so important in this, but it is. For whatever reason, the research of Lee Rigby, the guy that was apparently unalived, okay, in 2013, goes straight to CERN Limited, straight to the World Trade Center disaster. Now, I'm going to be hopefully having a live discussion with all of you about why is CERN so important in relation to all of these events that appear to be happening. So here's AMC Services, and let's have a look where we go from here on the notes. Oh yeah. So OCS Corporate Services Limited connects the company because it's in, let me just read this bit first. This company was incorporated, AMC Yeovil Services Yeovil Limited. It was incorporated in 2002. It has online company services and OCS companies on its incorporation document. Charlton's Company Secretarial Services Limited is shown in the People Record and connects to 43 companies, all having an address of Sherborne in Dorset and having OCS Corporate Secretaries Limited on their People Record. Sherborne is where important connections are made to the leader of Qatar, the attacks in Israel in 2023, and to my wife's former employer, connecting to the Virgin Foundation companies and criminal United Nations companies. Okay, so we'll just go into that in the People Record, isn't it? Okay, let's go into people record. We've got Colton Services, and we've got OCS Corporate Secretaries Limited, and that becomes relevant into other research that I've identified. But look at all of these companies within Charlton's Company Secretarial Services Limited. Okay, you can see they're all in Sherborne, Dorset. This is where the leader of Qatar was educated. Okay, he went to school in Sherborne, and it's also where my wife's employer, okay, Charles Sherwin, was a dentist. And when you're going through that dentistry company, you hit Virgin Foundation companies. That means obviously Richard Branson. You've got a Treasure Islands kids company. Okay, you've also got then very quickly connections through from that into criminal United Nations companies and much, much more. It links back into CERN. I mean, there's just so much evidence going in from that section. So it is all very quickly connected, everybody. And just looking here, you can see all of the addresses, look, are in Sherborne. And the leader of Qatar, okay, links into Canary Wharf and to the to the attacks in Israel on the 7th of October. Okay, the leader of Qatar was involved in the Canary Wharf building, a massive share of the Canary Wharf building, and it looks as though they used that, okay, for registering a lot of these criminal entity companies. And that Canary Wharf building then ties in with Margaret Thatcher. There's Margaret Thatcher companies that are linked into the international fraud, because I think it was built in, was it 1988 time, I think, leading into the creation of the World Wide Web that was created for CERN. So you can see all of these addresses, Sherborne, okay, you've got Saturn Security Services. Now, some of them, I can find one, have Hunters. There you go, Hunt's Accountants. Oh, in the address. Oh, quite a few of them, actually. So you can see it here. Care of, correspondence address, Hunt's Accountants in Sherborne. I'll just show you another one if I can. Hunt's Accountants. Okay, I've mentioned that. OCS Corporate Services Limited connects to 1,665 companies from the People Records. This includes AWE International Group PLC, where they were appointed in June 2023. The reason I've shown you that Hunters connection is because you'll see how that becomes very relevant now in what we're going to be looking at in all of this as well. So OCS, AWE International Group PLC we're going to look at. Well, that's important because AWE PLC had already been linked to a name record for Peter Gilmore, the high priest of the Church of Satan, who was positioned in 2001 when the World Trade Center disaster happened, and they connect to nuclear weapons companies, Dodi Fayed or Al Fayed, which is obviously Princess Diana's lover from July 1997 till she died in August 1997, supposedly died. It also connects to Peter Lawson of the Nicola Bulley case, who was the lead investigating officer, who was suddenly found dead at the age of 50, supposedly. Okay, and also connects to apparent serial killer Peter Sutcliffe. So that's AWE. So let's just go in and show you the connections in from here. So we're within the People Record. We go back, and we will be within the People Record of AMC Services, and there's OCS Secretaries. It was that one, wasn't it? You can see over 2,800 companies. Now I just went into the first one that I found that I knew it was very relevant. You've also got Pentagon Alliance. Yes, that is very likely going to relate to the Pentagon in America. Okay, it's all connected into international government fraud by a generally very small number of people on the scale of things, involved in what seems to be very sinister crimes, potentially a deception. A lot of it, I'm now getting evidence that a lot of some of the parents' names, okay, for high-profile missing children, and I'm not just talking about Madeleine McCann here, or high-profile missing people, are actually linking back into the international government fraud, right? Which is suggesting, and the evidence is growing, that we could be looking at deception in relation to all. We have to consider all of the high-profile murders, events, serial killers, and everything else. Now, of course, these events and situations, it gives them the ability to launder money through those fake investigations. That's one of the motives, but it's also linking in to the Vatican, all right, and ties into an escalation into a prophetic event, okay, a biblically prophetic conclusion or spiritual agenda conclusion in all of this. It all ties into this research, so I'm just going to try and find AWE. I thought it was quite earlier on, and so I might have gone past it, unless it's in the director's bit. It might be in the next page. This becomes really important because you're going to see it links into the Savile Row companies. All right, Savile Row is a location in London renowned for its tailoring of the royal family, etc. Particularly, there's a company there linking to the name Hunters. Okay, which then it ties in to literally the hunts. Okay, well, obviously the foxes, and then they ban it, but also potentially into the hunting of human beings in all of this, where there's this evidence suggesting that actually there's children being hunted. Now, I don't know if that's true. I pray that's a deception and that's not actually happening, but there's a lot of evidence to indicate that that is a real thing. Crown and Castle. This is all coming in from Wayfair. Carbon Club. I haven't even gone into these. Morgan Construction, possibly linking in with the Morgan family, because the JP Morgan family, because these bloodlines have really taken over the world in all of this international fraud. I'm just going to check. I might have gone into the wrong one of it. Ooh. Corporate secretaries, 1,600, including AWE. So it should be there. Right, let's go back in. Whether appointed. I think I've been looking at all of the. I'm really tired, actually. Let's. The sporting. Must have gone past it. I think it was this far in. Kiwi craftsman. That's interesting. There's Kiwi companies I've found linking in with Tony Blair, which then makes reference and links in to the to New Zealand, which is where obviously the Christchurch earthquake was, which becomes very relevant in all of this. I'm just going to go through again because I thought it was earlier than this, but I probably just completely missed it. Hopefully I'll do a little bit later at 6 when I'm a bit more awake. Excuses. Oh, interesting. Look, Paul. Well, that's a location in Dorset, but they haven't got it there. But Paul, that's very likely going to link back into Dorset, which is right in. Paul is right near Bournemouth, where the investigations began for me. Sorry, I'm just going to try and. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to just show you the AWE International Company, and then I'm going to show you quickly the research, hopefully quickly, the research of how that ties in with Peter Gilmore. The Church of Satan. Abbey Steps. Interesting. Because in a moment, you find, a bit later actually, you find connections to Abbey Road, linking in with the Savile Row organisations. Abbey Road is the most famous, most famous album cover in the world for the Beatles, and that all connects into this. You see that I've done research in relation to Abbey Road. and also how that links in with a conspiracy that Paul McCartney actually died many, many years ago, and they used a replacement for him. Well, this now ties in with my evidence. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying I make links from this into it. There must have been a few pages on then. We've got first ambulance service. So this will be linking in with the Freemasons. Okay, the emergency services. Many, many Freemasons in the police and emergency services. And actually, it is appearing as though I am, at the moment, one of the only police officers or former police officers in all of this. It seems as though they're all implicated in the deception. Now, if I'm the only one doing this and the only innocent one, then that's going to tell you how important I'm going to be in all of this. And I don't mean look at me, I'm important. I mean the evidence, and for whatever reason, appear to have been chosen by, whether it's divine or whatever, to expose all of this. This is frustrating. Elite. Notice the elite companies. They love to call themselves the elite. People running our systems, apparently. Castle Environmental. It's interesting going through and finding more connections. Notice the security companies. Again, that tends to lead into police organisations, where they'll be laundering money through from the finances going into the police through these security companies to steal from all of you. They're the biggest criminals on the planet, everybody. I'm not saying all police, but the head of the police, the MPs, the prime ministers, the councillors, the heads of the NHS, they are the biggest criminals on the planet. Far worse than any of the criminals I dealt with in 18 years of the police. That's now a fact, everybody. All right, because they're dressing themselves up as a deception that they are supposedly here to help people, when it does appear as though they have been set up for the opposite, to actually exploit, victimize, and cause suffering in a problem, reaction, solution criminal network they have in place against most of humanity. So it must be, I'll just keep going. The Blind Company. At least next, when I do this at 6 o'clock, I'll know exactly where it is. I've got a feeling it's going to be in the other company on here. Cheeky Monkey, that's been seen. It's just mockery. There's some companies, you just look at the names and it's just quite blatantly a mockery of humanity, where they're just telling us, and we just haven't seen it. The innocents have not seen it. How long have we been so far? 23 minutes. Okay, I'm going to stop in 5. And then what we'll do, we'll have a break. It gives me a chance to find... Actually, I might stop it now. And it gives me to find it. And then come back for part 2. And we'll do part 2 at... let's do 11:40. So 20... It gives me 15 minutes just to have a bite to eat.